Let's continue with chapter 8, branding and positioning. There's a lot that we have done. We have looked at the organizational structure of our organization. We have looked at the models, the traditional models of being innovative and the recent models of being innovative. Now we are going to look at how are we going to brand and position our business. So this is the learning outcomes that you need to look at. You will read these learning outcomes during your leisure time, as time is not on our side. Reflect. In your opinion, what are the similarities between a brand and a promise? I want you to reflect on this one. We will discuss it in details during our visual class. Branding is not only about visibility and functions of a product. It is about the bonding emotionally with people in their daily life. Only when a product or a service handles an emotional dialogue with the customer can this product or service qualify to be a brand. So a brand is not what the organization wants it to be, but it has to have emotional connections with the customers who are going to benefit from this service or from this product. So when you build a brand, you need to look at a number of elements. The name of your brand, the logo, type logo, the color, and the style. So this is very important. And for you to come up with a unique name and a unique logo and brand, you need to know the brands of other organizations which are in the similar business, so that you are not going to be perceived as a copying cat, but to be able to be unique, to be distinctive when you compare yourself with other branding. So we've got this holistic branding that you have to look at when you are branding your product within your organization. You look at the brand research and insight, the strategy that you're going to use, information design, environmental design, digital design, procurement, project management, stakeholder communication and investment relation, advertisement, public relations and events, digital branding, and internal branding engagement. So that means when you brand from top to toe. You make sure that all the strategies within the business, they've got the same brand. So as we carry on, you'll find out that brand identity is about the creation of a visual presentation of a brand through a name or logo, the logo type, color, and the style, as I have said. So brand protection is a key aspect of building a brand equity and preventing inappropriate competitor use of brand intellectual property. I have explained it that when you brand, first of all, you need to be able to know about other products, other competitors' brands, so that you create your unique brand, not to be confronted by competitors that you are busy using their own brand. Some people, they change names. Some people, they change the spelling. You don't have to do that. You need to operate your business effectively and consider all the ethical considerations when coming to branding. So we have already mentioned this could be a brand identity that we have already explained. So the branding advantage model, it comprises of the following. First of all is the idea on the idea focus of an organization, where you look at the inside of an organization, scoping, research, synthesis, and the strategic recommendations. So when you look at the strategy of an organization, you need to look at the inside. Then from there, you look at the idea design. Now you are trying to design the idea of your branding. You look at the concept of creation, the big idea, and the multidisciplinary interaction when you do your brand design. Then you look at the idea resolution, where you are now going to look at the crafting of the concepts, application, validation, and sign off of the concept. So this is the initial phase where now you are starting your branding. So when you implement, you are going to look at the documentation, pre-production, finish art, specification, and brand manuals. And then you do the activation, where you look at project management, you look at product and roll out, and you launch your brand. Then lastly, you do the health check, the validation, and the recommendation. So this is a brand advantage model that one can use before you can implement your brand and look at what other things that I want to put in my brand. Now that I've got the information from other businesses who are providing similar products and services, or my competitors, how can I make my business unique? You look at that information. So some other examples of category of hierarchy of brands. Some people, they can do branding within the drinks. So there's a few drinks that they've mentioned in this textbook. You look at alcohol, beer, light beer, and other drinks. Some people can do branding for computers, depending on the type of the computers that they look at, whether it's Windows, laptops, or tablet. Some they look at holidays, whether they want to do branding of holidays in the sea, or holidays within the diving activities, or the life aboard holidays. So some people, they can use a different example of hierarchies of branding, looking at what they are doing. That depends to the organization to another, and it also depends on the product and the services that you are rendering. You can do something different depending on what you are providing to your customer and for your business. Then positioning. The business process that designs a brand, product, or service to comply a relative position in the mind of the customer. So positioning is when there are other businesses that are offering a very same product and a services, but you want to occupy a certain position. So here we are going to look at the aspects that you need to look at. Now that you have brand your business, so where are you going to position yourself? Here is the position process. First of all, establish category membership. Decision on the brand differentiators. Now you are positioning yourself. You don't want to be like other people. You want to be unique. So how do you differentiate yourself? How do you differentiate your brand? Again, differentiation of products and services. There are a number of products that the people are selling, similar products. But if you want to position yourself to be the only known company that is providing this product, then you need to differentiate your products. Coca-Cola is differentiated. There are lots of soft drinks that people can purchase, but it's positioning itself where people know that if they want to be refreshed, some customers, they prefer to drink Coca-Cola. Then from there, you come up with the positioning statements. You can't just position yourself, but you need a positioning statement. And when you positioning statements, you deliberately need to scan the environment to know the companies out there and to know their position. Where are they? Are you a follower in those companies, or are you a leader? So you need to understand the companies who are leaders, and you need to position yourself so that the customers can be able to know that this is a company that is satisfying my needs in a different way. So this just explains what I have just said. So desirability and delivery criteria for positioning your organization. First of all, relevancy. Are you relevant? This must be personally relevant and important to customer. So if you want to position yourself, in fact, are the customers that are positioning you? Because if you've got this product which satisfied them, so they know that you are the only provider, or you are the sole provider that is able to meet their specific needs. And distinctiveness. Target customer must be found for the position distinctive and superior. How distinctive are you? How unique is your product? So that's how you can be perceived as customer, as someone who has a unique product. Then lastly is the believability. Target customers must find that you are believable and you are credible. If you say this product is satisfying this need and the customer have consumed the product, they must get the desired results. And in that case, you have positioned yourself because you are reliable. So you are not offering a product, but even the service. Sometimes you find that when you are selling a product, you are not only selling that product, but the service. This is the product. Is it delivered in time? Is it credible? Does it solve what it's supposed to be solved? Then you are trying to position yourself. So when you do your positioning, again, you need to look at this deliverability, feasibility, where the product or service design and marketing offerings must support and desire an association. So when you deliver the product, even the service must support that. And you look at communicability, where customers must be given a compelling reason and understanding rationale as to why the brand can deliver the desired benefit. So that means you must make your brand known. You must make your products and your services known to your customers. You need to communicate with your customers, and your product and services need to be sustainable. The organization must be committed and willing to devote enough resources to create an enduring position. That means you don't position yourself for a limited space of time, but you make an endurance. You make your effort that you occupy that position and you are known by your customers, that you are an incredible organization that is providing that product and the service that satisfies their need. Differentiation means that setting apart of an organization's offering to be superior on at least one dimension that is important to the customer. So sometimes you position yourself by making yourself apart, making yourself different, unique when compared with other organizations. And that will be able, you are going to be able to make your organization superior to one dimension that satisfies the customer's needs. Product and service differentiation. We've got different aspects that you can look at differentiation. When you differentiate based on product, you need to look at the physical size, the shape and the structure. Some organizations are different because of the kinds of products. Could be the shape, but they've got the different size of the shape. They've got the different textures or the material that they've used when they were busy producing that shape. You look at customization. Some people, they're producing products which are tailored to customer. You look at performance quality. Is that product performing the way it's supposed to perform? If it has a guarantee of 5 years, it's really going to survive 5 years, or within 2 or 6 months, now you've got a problem with the product. And you look at the durability. Is it reliable? You look at the style and the aesthetics, and you look at the design of the product. So product differentiation could be different things. We have mentioned few things here where you can look at the product differentiation. But other organizations need to look at the service differentiation as well, because not all organizations are selling product and service. Some, they are only rendering a service. So they need to look at the ordering easy. Is it easy to order the service? Is it easy to get that service, the delivery, installation? If the customer do not understand how to use the product, the customer training, when you render the customer training for the customer to be able to utilize the product, your training should be effective. You look at the maintenance and repair and the returns. So are you able to maintain? Because some products are made by human beings, some are made by technology, but air is too human. You find that there are minor defects in that product. How do you deal with the returns? Are you able to give the customer the service that they have ordered? If maybe the returns or there's a problem with the service that you have already delivered to your customer. So we've got 6 questions toolkit for identifying product-driven differentiation. The first one is, who is the most appropriate product beneficiary? First of all, that means you need to know your target market. What are the real and perceived benefit of this product? What are the perceived benefits? So you need to do the customer surveys, the consumer behavior, so that you will be able to understand what is their perceptions about the benefit of the product. Then when does the product work most effectively? So you need to test and retest your product. Where does the product work best, and how are the products in a specific category delivered to the end user? So even the channel of delivering the product should be identified when you are doing your product differentiation. And lastly, why do the product work the way it is? So once you've got answers to these questions, you will be trying to give answers to the customer's questions, and you will be trying to see what drives differentiations, or what are the different aspects of your products and your services. So you can be able to write a positioning statement by looking at the offering. You explain, our offering is this and is most important. You claim, why is it most important? Among, you choose a segment, because you cannot provide a product to everybody. You need to choose a certain market segment, and you give reasons why this is going to work. So that's how one can use a positioning statement, or write a positioning statement of your product or your service. Brand alignment is about the business process of ensuring consistency between the brand's positioning and meaning in the inside and the outside the organization. So you've got this branding which you admire, but is it meaningful within an organization and outside the organization? Some people, they've got a nice brands, but when they are being tried out, and you find that they don't work the way the people within the business anticipated is going to work. So it's very important to do the brand alignment if you want to make your brand to be accepted, or you want to occupy that position. Then this is a process that one can use. Again, is culture shaping and impacting influences, value definition and shared meanings. And from there, you identify your segments of market. Then you do your tactic brand communication activity for your external environment. Within a brand identity in an organization, that's where you need to shape the culture. And that's where you need to define the value and the meaning of this brand for you to be able to make sense to the outside stakeholders. Internal branding is about the business activities that develop a deeper sense of organizational brand within the employees. So you start from there. You start from within. The internal brand, where you cultivate the culture of brand positioning from within the business. Once we have changed the culture and the employees and whoever is working within an organization have accepted that culture, it's going to be easy now when you sell your brand or you want to position outside, because already within the business, the way they talk, the way they serve their customers, they've got this new brand that you are trying to implement. So this could be the class reflection. In your opinion, what are the role, or what role does the culture of an organization play in determining the success of an internal branding strategy? Just pause and think about this question. During our visual class, we will ask this question, and I hope you will be ready to tell us as to what role does the culture of an organization play in determining the success of an internal branding strategy. So these are the internal branding pitfalls. The branding program solemnly in internal communication efforts, failure to allocate resources, being seduced by new advertisement campaign, confining brand building exclusively to market and communication, failure to integrate brand building in programs, and over-dependent on technology in building the better branding understanding. So when you try to cultivate the culture of accepting a new branding within an organization, you need to look at what could be the pitfalls from within an organization that can hinder the success process of new branding within your organization. Brand measurement, tracking performance and brand evaluation, and equity. So once you've got this brand and we have sold it from within the organization, they have accepted it, you see everybody is ready, and now you are ready to go outside and to show your brand to external stakeholders. First of all, you need to evaluate your brand. Do your tracking performance, it's working, and all. You can have a pilot study maybe to a particular segments of customer where you're going to do your brand. Then from there, you can be able to spread it to other segments of your customers. And then brand portfolio organization, management, and marketing of all multiple brands owned by a single company. So here you make sure that your brand is owned by a single company. If your company is decentralized, make sure that all other decentralized sub-branches. They adhere to the single company, and they adhere to the head office brand all over. Wherever they are during in their different geographical areas, they are able to adhere to the centralized branding. So these are part of the best global 13 brands. You can pick whatever brand that you know from this picture. And you can see Nike. I see Visa, Kia. There's a number of brands. McDonald's, Pepsi. So this is just an example of picture of different brands that we have in our wholesalers and our retail stores. So you need to look at such, like I've said, that before you can brand, you need to know other branding. We see Facebook, maybe you want to start something similar to Facebook, you need to understand Facebook first before you can be a disruptor or a competitor. Then the phases of building a brand portfolio. Number 1, brand accumulation, brand reformation, and brand development. As I've said, that we are rapidly faced with a changing environment. Once you have accumulated your brand, reform it, and develop. You must have a development model of your brand. Here is a process to renew your portfolio. Understand what is in the brand portfolio, and then identify the brand review, assess the brand contribution, assess the market positioning, transition, and momentum. Step number 4, address the problem or opportunities. And lastly, develop a brand portfolio renewal plan. So once you've got your brand, and then you have followed all these steps, last you develop a renewal plan, as you've got now established your brand portfolio. So brand relationship. This figure is showing you the brand relationship, where you've got the master brand drivers, which is the house of brands, and then from there you look at the endorsements of brands, the sub brands, and the banded brands. So when it's weak, that's where there's no connection. But when the brand is strong, that's where there's different identity. That means you are able to endorse it, and there are core drivers that are going to lead to different identity. And again, you look at the linked name. So when the linked name is strong, that means there's a strong shadow of endorsement. But when you look at a linked name and you find out that it's weak, that means there's a same identity. So here it shows that you need to look at the strongness and the weakness of your brand based on the aspects that we have already discussed. Like you look at the endorsement of brand, you look at the linked name. So that's where you will be able to see that what am I supposed to do now so that I am able to make myself different from the competitor, because now there's a shadow of endorser. That means your brand is strong, but when coming to the identity is the same as the competitors. So this figure is helping you to see whether you are different in your brand or you are not. Brand evaluation is about determining a financial value for the intangible brand assets owned by the organization. The brand sometimes is not bringing you money, but it's bringing you money indirectly. So that is why you must be able to determine a financial value for the intangible brand assets owned by an organization. So there's a financial value to branding, though it's not coming to you. People can come and purchase different products and different services, but only to find that they are not only producing that service or a product, but they were compelled by the branding that you have already designed. So the branding have attracted them to be able to purchase your product and your service. So it's very important to evaluate your brand. So market shifts and target markets needs and a behavior change over time. Brands needs to reflect and embrace this, or face the decline or even the diminish. So when you are busy with the target market, you need to be able to observe the changes in the market, changes in demands and the needs of your customers, because some demands are going to decline, and you need to know now that you need to change your brand portfolio. Maybe the customers are used to what you are offering, or there's someone who's offering new brands, there's someone who's attracting them. So the customers, they just go for what they need, they just go for what they get benefits on. So if they don't benefit any longer to your product, then they will shift their actions. Group work. Discuss why you think the Vision brand has been able to stretch so far and transverse so many industry, sector, and product services offering. So most of the people are attracted to this brand, but let us look out what make this industry, what make this sector of products and services offering to be attracted. You just need to think about this. And this question will be posted on Vutela, where you can work with your group members and think about this brand and come up with some insights. Thank you so much for listening to this chapter. This is an end of chapter 8. We will continue with learning unit 9 during our virtual class. Thank you.